Well, hello, happy Tuesday. I think today we're live at our local dog park. So right now it's just me in here. There's nobody else in here. That's why I have my mask off because I think I can speak clearly and hopefully it's easier for you guys to hear as well. But while I'm out here and getting a little bit of vitamin D, I want to talk to you guys about how to train yourself to be a better smell or get a better nose even during this pandemic. So first thing first, I want to talk about it is all about the smell. Wine tasting is such like a misleading word because it make you believe that it's more important what it is you're tasting when it is actually more important what you're smelling. Your mouth or your palate can only understand or taste sugar, bitterness, umami, acid and tannin and alcohol. So those kind of that 5-6 different basic structure is what your palate, what you can actually taste. The rest of what you enjoy in wine are actually what you can smell. So it is actually all in the nose. You can smell tens of thousands of different aroma when you can only taste 5 to 6 different flavor. And whatever you think you're tasting is really what you're retroactively smelling as you're putting whatever food or drink that's in your mouth. So it's very important to train your nose in order to pretty much enjoy all the finer things in life, whether it is food or wine related. So it is the most important thing about wine, quote unquote, tasting is smelling. Now, when it comes to smelling, I want everyone to know when it comes to wine, there are actually 3 different categories of wine smell. I know there are a million or hundreds of different individual smell in wine, but they can all be separated into 3 large main categories. And a lot of time, let's talk about the category first. The first one obviously is fruits, right? Wine is made out of grape and you should be smelling different fruits in a wine. That makes sense. Number 2 is what we call non-fruit. Non-fruit, what does that mean? Non-fruit is actually in our technical sense, we're talking about any smell you get in a wine that is not a fruit, but is organic, meaning it's alive. So any veggie notes, any other herb, floral, anything that's not a fruit but is organic, we consider that non-fruit. And the last category, the third one, is what we call a mineral. So anything that's inorganic that you can still smell in wine, that's kind of usually your barnyard, your earth, your chalkiness, your graveliness, your clay, and all that kind of minerality. Those are considered the minerals. Also spices is in there, but let's consider the non-fruit part of it. And especially I feel like for most people, of course, there's always exception to the rule. For most people, the most developed category for us in between those 3 is the fruit category. Why? Because it's just more familiar to us. We usually eat them in their whole raw form ever since we're little, right? You eat an apple, you eat a pear, you eat a banana, you eat a pineapple, and it's usually on its own. So you can, most people can identify and pick out the fruit smell out of the 3 category the best. When it comes to other stuff, the non-fruit category is always a little bit harder because let's just say the non-fruit also includes a lot of spices that you get in wine, coffee, vanilla, nutmeg, cinnamon, and all that stuff. Sure, we are exposed to that growing up in most of our life, but we're not. They're usually mixed in with something else, so you're not always like having that one flavor on its own. And so sometimes it's hard to pick that individual notes out. And then the last one is even harder for most people, which is the mineral smell. We have a faint idea, but we don't smell and we don't pay attention to the inorganic smell in our life. I know there are a few that might stand out for most people, like fresh cut grass, or the way rain smell, like fresh rain smell and all that good stuff. But it is not something we pay a lot of attention to. And prior to the pandemic, one of the things I always recommend everyone to do to train their nose is whenever they go to farmer's market or supermarket to go and like pick and smell different apple, different lemon, different limes, even the cherry. You just think about cherry on its own, bean cherry and sour cherry, and different cherries smell differently, different apples smell differently. So I'm always a creepy person in a supermarket that is picking up the different apples and the different fruits and smelling them individually to train my nose. Because the more you can put the different smells in front of you and link it, associate it into your head, the better you are at recalling it later. So that is kind of a key to become a better wine taster. But now, being in the pandemic, I mean, obviously, if I'm in a supermarket or a farmer's market, I'm wearing my mask and I'm not going to be putting those fruits and stuff like that other people might buy in front of my nose. But I think it's a perfect time still for us to train our nose, because the only time we can really be having our mask out and off and be smelling things is when we're out in nature, out in the park, or hiking. So I think the pandemic now is the best time to train the other two categories that we're less familiar with when it comes to smelling, which is the non-fruit or the inorganic matter, and especially the mineral sense. So for example, the next time when you're in a park, you got grass here, we got dirt, a little mud and dirt and all that good stuff. Just take a second, and if you have notion like me, you can like get low on the ground, you know, grab some grass and smell it and link that into your head. The more you do this, the next time you smell something like this in your wine, the better it is, the better you are at recalling the smell. And yes, there are freshly cut grass in a lot of the young aromatic white wine, so it's a good smell to get yourself familiar with. In California, along the coast, there's a lot of eucalyptus tree. It's always nice to just roll down your window as you're driving by them. I think there's a nice glow every time I drove to Monterey, I believe. It just take it in and get familiar with that smell, and you become a better taster that way. So that's pretty much all I got right now. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy, get outdoor, get some sun. That's Barley enjoying herself. She's eating grass and associating the smell of grass to her vocabulary. And there's Gumbo. Hey Gumbo. Yeah, there you go. That's us. So just a quick look. Take care. Bye.